Advice from those who've been there for the kids who are on the campaign trail this time around. Rebecca Lieberman, what would you say to the Bush girls, to the Edwards, to the Carries, to the Hineses?
I would sort of combine the advice that's been given thus far and say, be yourself, be real, but be guarded at all times. Which is a hard balance.
John Dukakis?
I can't really add to that except watch out for small planes.
You want to elaborate on that?
All of us in the hinterlands have spent a little bit of time on planes that we would rather not have gone on.
Oh, yeah. Passengers on white-knuckle airlines. We do know all about that. I'm curious to get all of your reactions. You've seen the photographs of the Bush twins in the Vogue magazine that hits this week. I want to look at that picture and then play the soundbite that's been sort of all over the place ever since the Fahrenheit 9/11 movie when George Bush was speaking at the Al Smith dinner. Let's listen to that and then think about these pictures.
This is an impressive crowd, the haves and the have-mores. Some people call you the elite. I call you my base.
Now, I realize we have a lot of Democrats on this panel, but Stephen Ford, I'm going to go to you. Do you think that that's going to play well, those photographs of these girls in beautiful couture dresses during what's obviously going to be a very hard-fought campaign?
Well, I think you can look at both candidates, whether it be Bush or Kerry. You know, there's money on both sides, Edwards. So if people are really realistic about it, it shouldn't be an issue. I know with our background, you know, Dad grew up in the Midwest, Michigan. You know, we lived outside of Washington, D.C., had a small 3-bedroom house. Dad was a congressman for 27 years, didn't make much money, and then all of a sudden overnight we got good government housing, so it can go either way.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in on that?
I think they're going to be fine.
Great picture.
I don't think it hurts them at all. It's a great picture. They're beautiful girls.
Okay. Doug Wead, you heard that statistic that we shared earlier where 86% in the poll on MSNBC said they didn't think that a candidate's child was going to unduly affect how someone cast their vote. And you say you need to go no further proof than Ronald Reagan's family for that. Why?
Well, because Ronald Reagan's family was very dysfunctional in the middle of the 1984 re-election campaign. They were all over the pages. Every one of them had an issue at the time, even Maureen and Michael, who the Secret Service had falsely accused, and his father didn't believe him. And here was Patty claiming her mother slapped her and abused her. You couldn't get, if kids could hurt a candidate, Ronald Reagan would have been hurt, and he carried every state in the Union except Minnesota. But I will add, this is different. When an election is close like this, everything counts. And if you send Vanessa Carey or Jenna Bush to St. Petersburg, Florida, and have them get their picture taken with 2,000 people, they're going to affect some votes.
All right. We'll all.
But I think Maureen made her parents proud. Maureen made her parents proud. She really worked hard. She was a great, great campaigner, and I really liked her as a human being.
All right. And spoken from a man who was on the other side of the election ticket. That's a very generous thing for you to say, Chip. Finally, just real quickly.
Deborah,
go ahead, Stephen.
I was just going to say it's interesting because, you know, like with Chip and I, our fathers ran against each other. It was a very tight, close election, only 1% difference, and President Carter won. When Chip all of a sudden got the Secret Service, I was playing cards with my Secret Service, and all of a sudden the phone rang as soon as his father, President Carter, took the oath of office. And we were watching it on TV, and all of a sudden my Secret Service guys started unplugging the radios and stuff, and the card game was over, you know. So things changed very quickly. And I had a good hand, too. That's what upset me. But the interesting thing is that both Dad and President Carter, even though it was a hard fight, became great friends after the election. Yes. Worked together in a lot of projects, and that's the way politics should be.
Indeed it is. You know what? We're going to let that be the last word. I just wish all of you were in the same room because I can tell there's a big coffee clutch about to happen. Stephen Ford, Chip Carter, Eleanor Mondale, John Dukakis, Rebecca Lieberman, and Doug Wead, author of the book All the President's Children. Thank you all so much. It's been a really fascinating hour. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And when we come back, this week marks a poignant anniversary for another presidential family, the Kennedys. Tomorrow morning, be sure to tune in to